You've surely heard of Patrick Mahomes, but I suppose you've asked yourself this question at some point. How good is he really? Or why is he so popular?
Who it is?
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes.
From failing to get a single sports scholarship outside of Texas and being rated as just a 3-star talent, to becoming one of the best quarterbacks in history and signing a contract with the Kansas City Chiefs for $500 million, he is and will be an NFL icon, and I'm sure you'll be fascinated by his story. Patrick LeVon Mahomes was born on September 17, 1995, in Tyler, Texas, the son of Pat Mahomes, a former MLB player who played 11 years as a pitcher. Patrick grew up surrounded by sports. From a young age, he proved to be a natural athlete, so much so that his father nicknamed him Showtime. At just 10 years old, he could throw baseballs over 60 meters long. As he grew up, during his high school years, he was an exceptional talent playing baseball, basketball, and football for their respective teams. At White House High School, as a starting basketball player in his senior year, he averaged 19 points and 8 rebounds per game. Basketball fans will know this is a great average. Despite being great at basketball, baseball was where he really excelled. Close friends claim that from ages 8 to 18, they only saw Pat strike out twice while batting. He could have been an incredible baseball talent if he had chosen that sport long-term, as he was later selected by the Detroit Tigers, though he never signed a professional contract with them due to the commitment required to play multiple sports at once. The skills Mahomes developed as a baseball player in high school paid off when he committed more to being a quarterback in his youth. He himself states that his ability to improvise and throw without being in complete balance is thanks to baseball, since he almost always pitched without having 100% stability. When he was a junior, he was already an undisputed starter on a football team. The result, 3,839 passing yards and 46 touchdowns that season. To put this in perspective, a football field is 100 yards long. This means Pat threw balls for a distance equivalent to 38 full fields. Regarding the touchdowns, if we take as a reference that an NFL regular season consists of 17 games, this means that on average, he would score 2 to 3 touchdowns per game. His next year as a senior in 2014, Mahomes ate up the whole league with 4,619 passing yards and 50 touchdowns, in addition to rushing for 948 yards and scoring 15 rushing touchdowns, averaging 355 yards per game. He was such an unusual, all-terrain talent that he was named the National Male Athlete of the Year by Max Preps, the leading source for high school sports statistics. Despite this, upon graduating high school, Mahomes was rated with only 3 out of 5 stars as a collegiate talent by various sources like ESPN and 247 Sports. The most incredible thing is that outside of his home state, no top university offered him a sports scholarship. According to Adam Cook, his high school coach, he only obtained 3 official offers from Texas Tech, the University of Houston, and Rice University. With few cards on the table, Mahomes decided on Texas Tech to play football and baseball. Upon entering college, Pat was determined to show all the universities what they had missed and to demonstrate his talent in NCAA Division I football. But he had to wait for his turn as a starter until the last part of the season when a starting quarterback got injured with only 4 games remaining. Pat went out to give a masterclass in the final game against Baylor University. He broke the record for most yards and touchdowns in a game by a freshman with 598 yards and 6 touchdowns. The coaches evidently gave Mahomes free rein in his second year, and he didn't disappoint, being the 4th-ranked quarterback with the most passing yards, just behind the great Jared Goff. These statistics were achieved while playing 2 sports at once. Moving to his 3rd year of college, Mahomes announced he would stop playing baseball to focus solely on football. Leaving baseball behind, Mahomes tore up universities across the country, leading with 5,052 passing yards for 121 yards average per game and 53 touchdowns. Having various NFL teams on the radar and feeling ready and taking a risk, he decided to skip his last year of college and declare for the 2017 draft. His college career as a quarterback left a mark with 11,252 total yards and 93 touchdowns. A crazy stat in my opinion. I don't know about you. Despite being the leader in many statistics in his final year, Mahomes was not the first quarterback selected. Who was the first? None other than the legendary Mitch Trubisky, but that's a story for another video. In the 2017 draft, the Kansas City Chiefs bet big on him, moving up in the order to select him with the 10th overall pick. His official debut was in the final game of the regular season against the Denver Broncos with unremarkable statistics, 284 yards and 1 interception. Although he was Alex Smith's backup in his first season, a reliable and effective quarterback, Andy Reid had a clear plan for Pat. The organization made it evident when, after failing to qualify for the playoffs, Kansas City traded Alex Smith to the Washington Redskins. The fact that they let go of their main quarterback with 2 Pro Bowls on his resume makes it clear that Kansas City wanted to transform as a team, and Mahomes was destined to take the reins as the main quarterback. The 2018 season was the perfect opportunity for Pat to demonstrate his exceptional talent on the field. The result? 5,097 passing yards and 50 touchdowns. He was first in touchdown passes, beating Andrew Luck by 11. Another quarterback worthy of a story for another video. And second in passing yards behind Ben Roethlisberger by just 32. In just his second season, he won the league MVP. He entered the Pro Bowl games, which are mini games, and a match in which the best players from each division participate just before the Super Bowl. On top of this, he led the team to the AFC Championship game. Kansas City hadn't been there since 1993. They faced the indomitable New England Patriots with Tom Brady in charge, but unfortunately, they lost. Despite this, in Kansas, there was an air full of hope and excitement with their new star quarterback. They couldn't wait for the next season, and Pat was determined to prove it. Despite having bad luck, getting injured, being limited, and sitting out 2 games, he finished the season with 4,036 yards and 26 touchdowns. Nevertheless, the Chiefs finished first in their division, which allowed them into the playoffs. The following game is one of many worth telling. Houston versus Kansas City. The Texans were winning 24-0 in the second quarter, and hopes were low. Was this game won? It was won. Mahomes led the Chiefs' offense, winning 51-31 and moving on to the AFC Championship against the Titans. The Chiefs started by losing 17-7 in the second quarter. Was this game won? It was won. Mahomes scored 3 touchdowns through the air and 1 rushing. Now, he only had to face the 49ers in the Super Bowl, a team with a tremendous defense and offense. This game was the last exciting global event before the pandemic. The Chiefs were losing 20-10 with only 6 minutes left in the game. Mahomes again came out to teach a masterclass, leading his defense exceptionally and managing to win the game 31-20. Obviously, he was the Super Bowl MVP and became the youngest quarterback in history to win the final. Kansas City was stunned and managed to sign him to a 10-year contract worth $477 million plus bonuses for a total of $503 million, the longest contract in the history of the sport at that time. A bit risky for an NFL player prone to injury, right? Well, with Mahomes, that wasn't the case. In his following season, Pat had his sights set on proving to everyone that it was worth paying the fortune for him, and he did it. With him in charge, the Chiefs achieved a 14-1 record. Mahomes threw for 4,740 passing yards, 38 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions. After this, he deserved a break, having secured the playoffs. Therefore, he didn't play the last games of the season. Upon arriving at the divisional rounds, the first game, they faced the mystical Buffalo Bills, winning 38-24. Now, it was time to face Tom Brady again, leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The GOAT versus the prodigy boy. Brady showed again that the league was his as he and his offense stopped the Chiefs, winning 31-9. This motivated Mahomes on an immense level for his next season, ending with 4,839 passing yards and 37 touchdowns. But his goal was no longer just to get those numbers, but to make history with his second Super Bowl. Finishing the regular season with a great record In the wild card game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Chiefs won 42-21 easily. Now came a huge game. The Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills, again led by the excellent Josh Allen. The game was absolute madness, ending tied 36-36. What did Mahomes do? 379 passing yards, 69 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns, winning 42-36. There is a curious fact that implies this controversial game was considered too high for Mahomes by many, and doubts began to arise, also counting that his star receiver Tyreek Hill was released to the Miami Dolphins. Fans were anxious to know what Kansas's next season would be like. This only served as inspiration for Mahomes, thanks to his winning mentality, as he wanted to prove to everyone that he didn't need offensive weapons to be a top quarterback. He ended up as the leader in passing yards with 5,250 and 41 touchdown passes. Thanks to his record and leadership, Kansas City obtained the famous bye, the first playoff game, with which they automatically qualified for the second round. And in the divisional game against the Jaguars, the unthinkable happened. In the first half of the game, Mahomes was tackled by 2 Jacksonville defenders and suffered a foot injury. In the blink of an eye, Kansas City would repeat their curse of not winning another Super Bowl, but in that same blink of an eye, Mahomes came out like Bruce Wayne, becoming Batman, leaving the locker room. We don't know what really happened in the locker room while Pat was inside. We only know that Kansas City won the game 27-20 with Mahomes injured in the ankle. The next game was against his alter ego, Joe Burrow. Again, there was a lot of rivalry between the two, with Cincinnati and the rest of the country supporting Burrow to create antagonism. This time, it was Pat's revenge, throwing 326 yards and scoring 2 touchdowns, beating the Bengals 23-20. The only thing left now was to win the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Starting badly and with an ankle that screamed to be attended to and cared for, Mahomes defied all statistics and became Batman again. Kansas managed to overcome the game by 1 touchdown, but the Eagles tied the game. After this, Mahomes orchestrated a legendary 66-yard offensive play to win the game with a field goal worth 3 points. With this victory, Mahomes became the first player in history to win Super Bowl MVP, League MVP, lead in passing yards, and lead in touchdowns in a single season. Brady was retiring, and the NFL needed a new king, but we already know the answer: Patrick LeBron Mahomes. With only 29 years old, Patrick Mahomes is already considered one of the best quarterbacks of all time. His ability to change the course of a game and his constant evolution as a player ensure that his legacy is far from over. What do you think of Patrick Mahomes? Is he already one of the best in history? Leave us your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more content about the NFL. See you in the next video.
Thank you.